you should be watching. So Brendan and I are going to talk about the House on Haunted Hill and Bly Mansion, the second series to the House on Haunted Hill series. First and foremost, it was okay. That's all. I'll throw it out there that it's okay. Is it as good as the first series? No.
There's nowhere near as scary. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a very slow burn.
But there's a lot of melodrama, and I mean, I don't know.
It's almost like they went too Hitchcock, where they just wanted to keep that slow burn going over 9 episodes. Up until you get to the end, we're like, oh, well, okay, I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, and just like she slept, she waked, she walked, she slept, she waked, she walked. That was an entire episode.
I know. My biggest complaint about this series is I liked it for what it is, but you didn't need 9 episodes. You had way too many episodes to tell this particular story. You could have cut out two or three of those episodes and told it just fine. I mean, I like a slow burn, but if it's like too slow, where I'm just dragging, and I was watching it in the background while I worked, and I felt like it was just too slow. Yeah. I mean, I had to throw episodes of Star Trek in between, and I'm binge watching Deep Space Nine again as part of my work day.
Big Cisco and his awkward ass.
But here are some things that I do like about it. Had a great cast. And I am forgetting the actress's name. I should remember her name, but who was doing the narration?
Carla Cugino.
Thank you. I thought she was fantastic in being able to tell the story. But I think the biggest takeaway I come from it is when they get to the very end and the bride of the wedding that she's at just says that it's not really a horror story, it's a love story. And it is. It's more of a tragic love story than anything else.
It's actually multiple love stories.
Yeah.
With a ghostly theme.
Right. And I get that, but I also kind of feel like now that you marked it as it's a horror story, and it's like but it wasn't really scary. It was just more tragedy than anything else. So the writers really definitely tapped into their inner Hitchcock, where they're building that suspense. It's not really that scary.
Yeah, they built suspense, but there was no scare payoff.
Yeah. So
it just like they built all this suspense and then it ended and they explained everything. And I don't like, and that's another thing. Like, I'm not really keen on horrors and mysteries that explain everything, because otherwise, where's the mystery?
Yeah. No, and I agree. But I mean, the cast was very good. I'm not taking away from how good the cast really was.
No, this is more about the writing for me and just what they were trying to do with the series. It wasn't, don't get me wrong, I know I'm kind of poo-pooing it right now, but it wasn't bad. It was just okay. And it didn't live up, as far as a horror story, it did not live up to the bar that The Haunting at Hill House set, because that one I actually thought had some really scary moments to it. And it was like, all right, do I really want to watch this at night after eating a pizza, drinking 4 beers, and going to sleep? No, I probably don't. Let's watch this at noon. Okay.
I thought Oliver Jackson Cohen was really good as kind of a villain and and a ghost. And I will always give a shout out to Henry Thomas, who we've interviewed and hung out with. He was really good. Had a really good British accent as well. But it's just one of those things where, and it goes into our recurring theme about some shows are too long. You have too many episodes. British TV is known for really just doing 6 or 7 episodes. You could have just done this in 6.
Hell, some of them are even 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
how long it is. So
what'd you say, Scott?
I said it just depends on how long it is, because I mean, like, one of my favorite one of my favorite British TV shows is Midsummer Murders, and seasons for that can be anywhere from like
2 to 8.
episodes to like I think the biggest season they've ever had was like maybe like 8 episodes or
Yeah,
something.
they go 2 to 8, and of course that's a kind of a different animal too, because you're talking about what is essentially a 90-minute TV movie every episode.
If not longer, because I mean, I
Yeah.
think they've had ones that are like hour 50 to like like 2:15, all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. So I mean, yeah, and they still manage to do it right. So I mean, it's like if they can find that balance of, with those writers can find that balance of intrigue, but little bit of lull and plot to kind of give you suspicions, 15 different red herrings, and then actually reveal who the real killer is. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
I think Midsummer is a better, like, because the difference there though is this is a serialized show where it's all one story, and Midsummer is kind of a case of the week type deal.
yeah.
But that's more Midsummer is very much more Agatha Christie than it is.
No.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Midsummer too. I watch it as well. But yeah, I just think that this would have benefited from being 6 episodes, because there's a lot of fill. Like that whole episode that I was saying was, she slept, she waked, she walked, she slept, she waked, she walked.
Well, I
For
kept
40
coming back
minutes.
to the end too. I mean, like the last episode is really just
And
hour
epilogue as
long
far as I
epilogue.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, you get one little thing about what happens with the au pair, and where she, what her fate really is and stuff. And the ending is, it's kind of cool when the story, you know, get the storyteller when she finishes the story. But anytime when I feel like you have multiple endings or like one great big epilogue, I always go back to Randall from Clerks 2 talking about the Lord of the Rings movies with the multiple fucking endings and all it's about walking and how he simplifies everything and his typical sarcastic manner. And I'm like, that's all you were doing is, and then you have to throw in this one episode. Well, we've given you 7 episodes of you don't know what the fuck is going on. So now we're going to give you the backstory and the history of Bly Manor to try to make sense things. I'm like, that could have
I
been
could have done
episode
with that. Actually, I could have done with that whole episode not being there, because I
Yeah.
mean, once you explain a thing, it's no longer mysterious. It's no longer scary. So,
Yeah.
I think that took away from it.
Yeah, right. And if you were going to do that, you could have literally done that half of the last episode where it's like, oh, you built all this up. Now
I
you're
was just
explaining.
gonna say, I hate it when they do that with TV shows, and they do an episode like that, and then they reveal everything, and then they try to do 4 or 5 episodes after it, and you're like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is the point of any of this? Why am I
Yeah,
even here?
you got
Well,
your ending.
it does kind of remind me of when I went to see Lord of the Rings in the theater, and people who have never read the Lord of the Rings think that the Battle of Pelennor Fields is it. And
No,
so 20 minutes later, they're going, when's it going to end? When's the movie going to end? Why are we still here? And I finally had to get up because there was one lady who was being really loud, and I finally had to get up in the middle of the theater and scream, when the goddamn book is over, now shut up.
Well, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do another series along these lines. Absolutely. But you with the writing staff, take a few cues. This was too long. You didn't get the big payoff that you did in the first series. Okay. And if you're going to do a third, fix some things. Okay. The cast is fine. The cast was really good. But it didn't live up to anything. So the way that I look at it, for me, if I'm going to give it a final grade, it's a 6. It's okay, but it doesn't really do anything for me, and it's not anything that I would go back and watch. So it's on our grading scale, it's adequate.
I'm going to agree with you there. I think a 6 is a fair grade.
Yeah, I just, but
I might have gone to a 5 if I had given up on the series, but I did watch it all the way through. So, if the last couple episodes I maybe just say, oh screw it, I probably would have gone with a 4 or 5. But I did
Well,
stick it out to the end. So
and here's something to consider too. If you're really going to tap into your inner Alfred Hitchcock, Alfred Hitchcock could build great suspense with a good payoff in 2 hours.
yeah.
So just saying. Anyway, that's how we come down on this show. It's a 6 at best for us. If you are just a huge fan of the series, you check it out. But I don't think many people will go back and watch it compared to the first season, where you might revisit it again. So, but the one thing
I will say this: Oliver Jackson Cohen, who did a really good Scottish accent, even though he's from England. If you're looking for somebody to play Connor McLeod in the long gestating Highlander reboot,
right,
that he'd probably be a good choice for that.
Yeah, and I could definitely go with that. And by the way, if you like him as an actor, a movie that got caught up with COVID and everything, but it's been doing very well on demand at Redbox Rentals. Check him out in the Invisible Man movie that came out at the beginning of this year, because he was really good in it.
One tie-in between this and The Mandalorian, Rahul Kohli, I believe is how who played the cook in Bly Manor.
Right.
He's been tweeting out pictures of himself being really excited about The Mandalorian, wearing with The Mandalorian on his computer screen, but wearing like a Star Wars Rebels t-shirt. And he's been dropping hints that there's going to be a surprise cameo by Ezra Bridger from Rebels, and that he's playing a grown-up Ezra Bridger. So that's just a little tie-in between our first 2 topics this morning.
Well, we hope. So,
yeah.
But anyway, that's how we come down on this show. Check it out if you want. If not, stick with the first series. But again, I hope they do at least do a third and make up for the things that went wrong with this one. Pardon the interruption while you watch this fantastic video by That Nerd Show. But we wanted to remind you that when you're done, go to mynerdswag.com and check out all the cool swag that we sell to help support this great news outlet. Yeah, if you like funny gaming or pop culture retro t-shirts, we have them. If you want a fantastic nerd bracelet, show your love as a nerd, we have that. We are also the home of the Baby Yoda t-shirt. That's right, we got a Baby Yoda t-shirt that you can buy and help support That Nerd Show. So when you're done, go to mynerdswag.com, check it out, help support the show, and keep the lights on. Every purchase helps.